Good morning, my name is Matteo Secchi and I am a Venetian living in Venice. I'm 47 years old. I am an activist. My group called Venezia.com is a group of Venetians, but not only Venetians, but also people from every part of the world, taking care of Venice and its inhabitants. Our foundation was 2000, so we have a big history of life, 17 years. But we started to really take care of Venice from 10 years. We started in 2007 with actions, with real actions in Venice. So. I live in Venice because it's my choice. My choice because living in Venice right now is not so easy because the high cost of the life and a lot of troubles living in Venice. So all the Venetians are leaving Venice from a lot of years. So for example, Venice was the biggest city of Europe in the second one in Europe in the Middle Age, with 200,000 people, and Venice in 1955. 1955 was the year the people starting decreasing. Venice was a big city of 175,000 people. Year by year, the inhabitants starting going down, and now we are 54,000 inhabitants only in the city. And me and my family, I got a wife and an 8 years old daughter. I am one of the 54,000 inhabitants. Living here is not so easy because, as I told you, I pay 1,000 euros per month in a 50 squares apartment. And the life is more expensive than a normal city. So a normal family prefer to leave Venice and going to live in the mainland, because in the mainland the cost of the life is half. So a modern Venetians work in Venice because in Venice we always earn money from the tourism jobs. And a normal Venetian going back every morning for working in Venice and living in the mainland. I already done this experience 15 years ago, but I don't like it. I think the life is only one, and I prefer to pay more but spend my life in Venice, because the life in Venice is good, because it's unique, and we live without cars. We live face by face in human contact. So I love to stay here because we have the problems, but I don't care.
What is the major cause for the decline in the Venetian population, apart from the higher rents?
High rents, yes. The first cost of the life in Venice is the high rents, but also the possibility to find houses, because it is not only the cost of the rents, but the way to find the apartment. We don't find apartments now. I'm looking for an apartment bigger than mine, because my daughter is starting to be 9 years old. She needs her space, her room. And I'm looking for apartments from 1 year, and I don't find apartments. But not only because the apartments are expensive, but because the owners of the apartments, they don't give apartments to us, because they prefer to rent the apartments to the tourists because they earn more. I understand business is business, but
a business can only thrive if it's got the staff to run it, and if the people that live here, which are required to ensure that it runs and functions properly, if they are being forced to move out, then they have to import other people who aren't Venetians, who come from all over, who may not understand nor appreciate what this city represents and what its future intention should be.
Of course, Venice is going to be, in 2010 we made a demonstration called Veniceland, popular also in England, in a Daily Telegraph, The Guardian.
A giant theme park.
And we made an ironic inauguration of a theme park, Veniceland, with a welcome, with the maps of Venice. But in 2010 we said we are going to be a Disneyland. But now we are at Disneyland, so the next step is Pompeii, is Machu Picchu. the next step is much worse than now, because we are going to be a city without citizens. So
it will become a ruin.
A ruin, yes. You can visit a city, a wonderful city with the beautiful stones, beautiful monuments and attraction, but without life, like Machu Picchu and Pompeii. So this is the next step of Venice, and we are fighting every day, me, my association, but also other groups of Venetians, because there's a big activism and fighting life in Venice. I am very happy because we are selling our skin very expensive. More than other cities in Italy, and we are fighting to keep the life and the culture in Venice, because as we told, a city without citizens is a city without soul. Is like Pompeii.
It's the same with any country. If you take all the people away, if you took all the people away from Italy, it wouldn't be Italy anymore, would it? It would be something else. And Venice, without its own people, would no longer be Venice.
Well, no, I don't think somebody will be interested to come here to visit Venice without the normal Venetian life. Maybe, but
there's also a language as well. There is a variation of Italian which they call Venetian.
In Venice, still keeping the language. I'm very happy because in Venice we talk Venetian and after Italian. And as I told you, in Venice we have a resistance more than the other cities in Italy. So we are keeping our culture. It's not so easy, but we are trying to do it.
So what action is required to turn things around? What is required? What should the state do?
So the first thing is to taking care of the social housing. The administrations, and in the last 20 years administration, no facts, no results. They have to take the 5,000 empty houses in Venice, because in Venice there's 5,000 empty houses. They have to stop to spend the money for nothing, for bridges, for projects, and taking care of the 5,000 houses, and give these houses to the Venetians. And so now we are 54,000 inhabitants. They have to take another 30,000 inhabitants more in Venice to coming back to be a city with 100,000 people, because 100,000 people is a normal size of a Venetian population. And so now 54 is not a city.
Well, I mean, all the grand buildings you have, which were built to house or to be used by the Venetians, if it relied solely upon the Venetians, there'd be nobody to go to them, would there? There'd be very few people, because it's mostly tourists now, isn't it, that become the lifeblood of the city, and yet they're a transient population. They're only here for a short period, maybe a day or a week. But there's people like you that stay behind, that keep the city moving, keep it running, and keeping it alive and vibrant.
Yes, I agree. Venice must find the way to get out the monoculture of the tourism, because the tourism is a double weapon. It's a double cut weapon. So we earn money from the tourism, but at the same time the tourism going to kill us.
Yeah, because the money that's coming from tourism isn't being pumped back into the city, because it's obviously people that are spending times in hotels, and you touched on the fact that what should be social housing is being rented out for tourists. So
we have to find a way to get another economy.
So you want a balance, that's what you're asking for, a balance between tourism and the needs of the local people.
So for example, now for us the normal life is impossible, because there's thousands and thousands of people come here to visit Venice, and they have the right to visit Venice. I'm not against the tourism.
No.
But we have the right to live our life. So Venice, there's small spaces, so we have to live all together, the two different worlds, the tourists and the Venetians. Is not so easy, because the spaces are small, and a tourist walk slowly, so I have to rush because
you mentioned
to bring
the river bus. You get on, the water bus. You get onto the water bus, and it's packed with tourists, and yet you have to work here, and so somehow you have to get on that same bus and share that with them in order to get to where you need to get to, and it's congested with tourists.
Exactly. When I catch my water bus,
where's the name of the group that you run?
This is the name, Venetia.com. Venetia is the name of Venice, how we call in Venetian dialect, Venetia, with the double X.
So if anybody wants to learn more and get involved and just show a sign of support, to contact that website, and you can be contacted on Facebook, I believe.
See, we have a very active 26,000 page on Facebook, and I am very proud because there's a lot of people from every country of the world help us. We are not only Venetians.
So let's hope now people are going to be a little bit more aware when they come here as tourists and think about all the other aspects of life in Venice and the people that live here, and hope and petition their government to do something and force the Italian government to do something about this.
We published that last morning a petition. It was a petition not from us, but from a French lady. And this is one example about, I told you, we are not Venetians only. There's people from every part of the world enjoy us, from England, America, Germany, French,
because they
Japan.
See the same beauty that you do.
See, because we always said Venetian is not who was born here, but who loves Venice. If you love Venice and you are Venetian like me. You could come from every part of the world. It doesn't matter. Venice was an example of open mind in the history. We accept every people from every country. It's important to love Venice.
It's certainly got its supporters, but not enough at the top, unfortunately. But let's hope things will change. Listen, Matteo, thank you very much for giving us this interview, and let's hope people will meet up with you at some point to discuss this wonderful history and its future, and support you through Facebook and through the website.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, my pleasure. Thank you. My impressions of this city have not changed from when I was here in 2010. It is the most beautiful city on this planet, but equally it is a city which is tinged with many issues which perhaps with planning and a forethought could be avoided. One of the major issues is too much tourism, and yet without tourism there's no life into the city. And so to see the ordinary everyday Venetians, you have to go to the quieter parts of the city, and that's when the city for me really comes alive. And if I continue, I will be in tears, because I really do love Venice. I feel my soul, part of my soul is attached to this place. It is a spontaneity of creativity over centuries, and all the suffering and the heroic deeds of the people that have lived here, that have worked to create this wonderful collection of historic buildings, which can still be appreciated here today, is truly admirable. And within my own heart and soul, there's a sadness, because I know that tomorrow I have to get on the train back to Trieste and to catch a plane back to Stansted Airport and back to the usual humdrum life that the man in the hat leads. I could spend 6 months here filming. There is so much of interest to me, both historically and both with regard to the paranormal. And yet, I could probably spend a lifetime here, and I would never ever be able to see everything that this city has to offer me. And my views of the Venetians, everybody I've met here, the Venetians that live here, have been absolutely wonderful people, and Chiara, who's currently holding the camcorder for me and filming this, she has been a most amazing host, ladies and gentlemen. And if you get a chance, go to her page on Facebook and like and join her. She shares some wonderful material, and also her friend Matteo. And there is so much that the pair of them together have generated an interest within me to want to come back to the city again and again. It's something which is a passion. It is an art form for me. It is almost a way of life. And on that note, I'm going to finish off now for today, and I'm going to look back affectionately at the videos that I've shot here and the photographs that I've taken, and perhaps thinking longingly for the next time that I can come back to this great place. And Chiara, as I walk away, if you can just show the background there, and I'll speak to you again soon. Thank you.